Men don't get mad for no reason. And by mad, I don't mean frustrated because the Wi-Fi went down. I mean abusive, threatening, intimidating. We're fed this idea that men only blow up if they're provoked. Like women must have done something, right? She must have pushed his buttons. That's the script. That's the excuse. But here's the reality. Men get mad at the most ridiculous, fragile, made up things. And if we're being really honest, men are incredibly emotional. They just only allow themselves one socially acceptable emotion: anger. Now, my name is Lisa Sonni. I'm a certified relationship coach specializing in abusive and toxic relationships. And I help women exit and heal from abuse and rebuild their lives. And this isn't just my opinion that men are emotional. The research backs it up. The meta-analysis in Nature Human Behavior showed men and women experience emotions with almost the same intensity. In some studies, men reported more intense emotions like pride and anger than women. Neuroscience studies show men's amygdala, the part of the brain that processes fear and threat, is just as reactive as women's, sometimes even more. Men aren't logical robots. They're emotional. But instead of crying or admitting fear, they funnel those emotions into aggression because that's what they've been taught is masculine. It's socialized. This is what I talked about with Brent McCleary on my podcast last season, Real Talk with Lisa Sonni, Relationships Uncensored, the way that male fragility wrecks relationships. Men can't handle the normal, everyday stressors of intimacy, so instead of saying, I feel insecure or I feel scared, they explode, or they punish, or they manipulate. And because of their entitlement, anger becomes a weapon. He'll call it disrespect. But let's be clear, when men say they were disrespected, what they really mean is she didn't obey me. She didn't listen to me. That's it, right? That's the bar, not actual respect. They're talking about obedience. What counts as disrespect? Not being compliant, catching him cheating, trying to leave him, saying no, looking at him the wrong way. I've had clients tell me that their partner pulled a on them for asking to go to the store. And what do people say when they hear that? Well, what's his side of the story? She must have done something. Well, I'm here to let you know that she doesn't have to have done anything. Some men will do that just to control you. But this is where the red pill crowd chimes in with the cliche and predictable comments, right? Well, what happened before the video started? Men don't just randomly start yelling. They do. Here's the thing. They're right about one part. It's not random. It's not provocation either. It's a tool. It's a choice. Abusive men use anger the same way a carpenter uses a hammer to build control, right? It's to intimidate, to force compliance. The she provoked me story is just a cleanup, right? It's an excuse to shift the blame off him and onto her. And this is the part that people don't want to admit. Nothing even happened. Lots of men use anger as a tool. Lots of men. Not all men, right? But too many men. Enough men. They use it as a tool, as a weapon, and frankly, like as a shortcut to power. And by the way, if anger was actually about losing control, why don't these men blow up at their boss or in front of the cops? Do you ever find it funny how they only lose control with women and kids behind closed doors? That's not loss of control. It's a very clear strategy. Now keep watching because I'm going to show you the receipts, right? The proof in their own words of what abusive men actually get out of violence. And before anyone says, well, how do we know abusive men actually know what they're doing and that they're doing it on purpose? I'm going to go ahead and quote Dr. Peter Salerno here. We know they know because they admit it. Now, there's a list of benefits that abusive men gave themselves when they were asked what they get out of violence. And before you roll your eyes thinking women made this list up, this list was made by men. It was compiled by men, reported by men right out of their mouths, verbatim. All we have to do is listen, right? Here's the list straight from them. She's scared and she won't go out and spend money. You get your way, you can go out. Respect. She won't argue. Feeling superior. She's accountable to me in terms of being somewhere on time. I decide. Relationship keeps going. She's too scared to leave. Get the money. Get sex. Total control in decision making. Use money for drugs. Don't have to change for her. Power. Decide where to go as a couple. decide who to see, decide what she wears, control the children. If she's late, she won't be again. Intimidation. She's scared and can't confront me. Can convince her that she's screwing up. She feels less worthy, so defers to my needs and wants. She will look up to me and accept my decisions without an argument. I decide her social life, what she wears, so that you can keep your image by how she acts. She's to blame for the battering. She's an object. I get a robot babysitter, maid, sex, food. Ego booster. She tells me I'm great. Bragging rights. If she works, I get her money. Get her to quit her job so she can take care of the house. Isolate her so friends can't confront me. Decide how money is spent. I'm the breadwinner. I get to buy the toys I want. Take time for myself. She has to depend on me if I break her stuff. Get to know everything. She's a nursemaid. She comforts me. Supper on the table. Invite friends over without her knowing equals more work for her. No compromise equals more freedom. Don't have to listen to her complaints for not letting her know stuff. She works for me. I don't have to help out. You think this list is long? I'm not even close to done, guys. I don't have to hang out with her or her kids. Don't have to get up, take out the garbage, watch kids, do dishes, get up at night with kids, do laundry, change diapers, clean house, bring kids to appointments or activities, mop floors, clean the refrigerator, etc. Answer to nobody. Do what you want when you want to. Get to ignore or deny your history of violence and other irresponsible behavior. Get to rewrite history. Get to determine future. Determine what values kids have, who they play with, what school they go to, getting to ignore the process, dictating what they need, food, clothes, recreation, etc. Dictate reality, etc. Kids are on my side against her. The kids do what I say. Mold the kids and her so that they will help and do what I should do. Keep the kids quiet about abuse. Choose battles and what it will cost her. Proves your superiority. Win all the arguments. Don't have to listen to her wishes, complaints, anger, fears, etc. Make the rules, then break them when you want. So she won't get help against you for past beatings because she has no friends to support her and she is confused by my lies. Convince her she's nuts. Convince her she's unattractive. Convince her she's to blame. Convince her that she's the problem. I can dump on her. Can use the kids to spy on mom. The kids won't tell mom what I did. The kids won't disagree with me. I don't have to talk to her. I'm king of the castle. You can make yourself scarce. You can have someone to unload on. You can have someone to bitch at. She won't call the police. Tell the kids that I don't have to listen to mom. Tell the kids that they don't have to listen to mom. Get her to drop the charges. Get her to support me to her family, my family, cops, judge, child welfare, and prosecutors, etc. Get her to admit it's her fault. That's what abusive men have said. Now keep watching because it gets worse. These men were then asked, why would you ever give up using violence? Their answers? Get arrested, divorce, get protection orders taken out against you, adult kids don't invite you to their weddings, have to go to groups like this. Now, these men who admitted to all of this, they were sitting in court-ordered batterers programs against their will. Do you notice what's missing? Not a single man said because it's wrong, because it hurts women. Not one. And if you've ever felt like you were losing your mind, constantly second-guessing yourself, this list is proof that you were not crazy. He was following a playbook that men have admitted to out loud. Chuck Derry, who worked with abusive men for decades, said it was the first time that he fully comprehended how much these men gain from being abusive and why a coordinated community response, courts, criminal justice, family court, is necessary. He wrote in his article, "It was on that day that I realized that if I had to choose between providing batterer groups for men who batter or a consistently effective criminal and civil family court response to domestic violence, I would choose the criminal and civil family court response every single time. There are just too many benefits gained from this behavior." And that's it. That's the truth. Abuse isn't about men being provoked. It's not about a woman making him mad. It's about entitlement. They admit it out loud. What do the men say to these men who are countering your narrative that men need to be provoked? because men who can anonymously say these things are happy to admit exactly why they do it. What you guys are doing in the comment sections is what you want the public to perceive as the reason. But we all know the truth. What we know is that men's abuse and men's violence is a well-studied topic. We don't actually have a lot of questions about why they do it because we already have the answers. And I'd love to just add that how many men participated in this? Thousands upon thousands upon thousands across the country, across the world. This is global. This is about entitlement and power, and men themselves admit it. And the red pill bros and the manosphere bros online are all just making excuses and blaming women for men's behavior while they whine about women not being accountable. The number one comment I see lately is women versus accountability. That's when men are trying to make women accountable for men's choices and for men's behavior. They want to position it as men are being provoked by women, as if men don't just abuse for no reason. You're right. It isn't no reason. It's for control, because that's what men think that they are entitled to. And they are angry when they don't get what they deserve, right? You want to whine about women not being accountable? The irony is not lost on me. If you're in an abusive relationship, you've got to know that he's doing this on purpose. And worse, he's benefiting from it. You didn't cause this, and you are not to blame, and he will never change because he doesn't even want to. And if this video made you think differently, I want you to hit subscribe for more real talk that exposes abuse for what it really is. And tell me in the comments, which part of that list hit you the hardest?